So you know all those videos of time lapses where giant buildings come into existence super fast, like they are straight up printed in the game? Do you want to know how those videos are made and maybe make some yourself? Then this tutorial is perfect for you. You don't need fancy plugins or paid mods for this one, just two mods, Axiom and Replay mod, and some video editing here and there, and that will be enough. Also, I'm not gonna teach you how to build with Axiom or make good buildings. There are thousands of tutorials for that. But I will teach you how to make your builds come to life with cool animations, like terraforming in a square shape, terraforming in a circle, 3D printing buildings, time lapses with symmetry, and time lapses with build slicing. Now that you have the two mods installed and you are in game, you should first check if they are actually installed in your world. So for Axiom you see this icon on the right, that's how you know it's there. And for replay mode, press escape, you see resume recording and start recording. Don't start it yet, but this is how you know you have it in game. So first of all, press shift and this is gonna open up the Axiom menu. I highly recommend watching a tutorial first because it's gonna be way easier to understand all of the tools right here, and maybe it will give you some inspiration to maybe play with them a bit even after I make this video. You can be creative with a lot of the stuff here, make something your own. Also, now we have to look right here on the right and make sure that time is frozen, so check this one so it doesn't go into the night. When you open up the world, you have to make sure this is checked so you don't make your time lapses change a lot of the lighting in the world because it's gonna look bad. Or maybe if you want to do it, you can do it, but I don't do it, and I don't think I saw anybody doing it, but yeah. For the weather, pause the weather so it doesn't start raining or snowing in your time lapse. You don't want that. Want to keep it clear. You can just leave this like that. For the blocks, disable everything and also put the random tick speed to 0, so all the grass that you have in your world doesn't turn to soil if you place something on it. That's really important because it's gonna look bad otherwise. So if that's done, now we have all this area right here that we want to terraform. Let's say something like this. I think that's enough for a medium building maybe. It's not that big, 133. Usually I make it like a little bigger, but I'm not gonna do that now. We're gonna do it on hills, trees, and of course water, because I want to show you how the water actually works with this mod. But first of all, press on box select and you have to select the surface. So right click, you'll see a block, drag it with your mouse, make it about 34 blocks in length, something like this. You can make it bigger, but it's gonna take longer to render, so just leave it like this for now. Make it, let's say, about 10 blocks deep. Not too deep, you don't really need to make it that deep. Something like this, so it just clears everything, but it's not gonna make you go to like the deep slate or whatever. Make it very tall so you don't get anything stuck in the air that's not being cut up by the air itself. You'll see it soon what I mean. And now you can go to the modify tool and you'll see that you'll probably see something like this or like this or maybe even like this, but you have to keep this one on translate copies, this one on 1 relative, and right here the coordinates. You have to change that based on where you want your terrain, your digging to go. So I want to go in that way, so I'm gonna change the z factor to -1, and now you'll see the blue going that way, so I know that it's gonna go in the left from this selection, the original selection. Okay, now that we are at this point, you will have to press escape again, Don't close this menu, you need it, but press escape, start recording, and now your replay mode is recording, so everything that you do from now will appear on the time lapse. I will show it to you right here what's gonna happen. So fill the selection with air, and you'll see everything that was blocks and soil is filled with air now, and also everything up here is filled with air. And if you press right click, you see what's gonna happen. So the selection from here was translated just like it says right here, from the right to the left, and it's also present on the right and now on the left too. And you can keep going like that however much you like, depending on how big you want your flat terrain to be. So let's say I'm gonna go, I don't know, let's see, maybe to here, something like this. Just right click. You can be fast or slow, it doesn't matter, you're gonna change that on the time-lapse menu soon, but I think for now this is enough. This is what you are left with. Of course, enter to disable the selection, press on box, select again, and make sure you are at this layer. So don't go deeper because it's gonna make some problems with the flatness of the terrain. Just leave it on the same level as before. Go as high as possible, and then make this one like equally the same with this one. So this one was, I think, 35 or something like this. Make sure you take up all of the space right here because this will be cut. And now if you go to the modify tool, you will see that -1 doesn't work because it's gonna get you on that way. You don't want to go in that way, you want to go back. So instead of -1, go for 1 or whatever it is in your world. Of course it's gonna be different because you're gonna have different selection, different coordinates. Maybe you're gonna have to change the X, but not the Y. The Y is for later, you'll see. And now that we are here, again, fill with air, right click, and you can see that it removes the soil at the exact same level as before. The water stays there because everything is on 0, the time is stopped. Absolutely nothing is moving in the world except for the cows and the sheep, but that's not a problem. Like this. Okay, let's say that you want to make a bigger selection and you want to do it faster. You don't want to right click so much. Then you can go and make it 2 blocks wide, something like this. You can also make it 3 or 4, but it doesn't look as smooth, so keep it on either 1 or 2 blocks wide. Now we're gonna go to -1 again, and you'll see that it's gonna be faster now because we are cutting with 2 blocks instead of 1. Yeah, like this. Again on the same level. And you'll see it right here. What I mean by the problems with the blocks, you'll see that now it's actually gonna cut with 2 blocks and it's gonna take this place. So what do you do when that happens? You're gonna see, we're gonna also do that later, but for now, if you make mistakes, you can do this. So select, again, you can select the water, enter and fill with, for example, water, and now it's filled with water. Maybe you don't want to do that on a time lapse though, because it's gonna look a little weird. And now we have all of this terrain that's flat, but it's very low, it's covered in water, and you don't want to leave it like that. So what do you do? Let's go here, move the selection a bit from the center. Let's put it right here, and I want the height of it to be something maybe like this. this will be the grass level. So right here it's where the actual flat grass terrain will be. Move it to here, make sure it doesn't touch on the water, so just next to it. Enter, modify, and go change this to 1 or whatever you have. Fill it with grass blocks, and you'll see with right click that it now makes a flat grass terrain. Maybe with this one you can be a little slower because it takes a while to load, or maybe you can also do it in 2 slices instead of 1. I like to do it in 1 because I don't want to make this terraforming part that long. Sometimes I don't even do it, but you know, for the video, why not? So just go like this until you reach the end point. Don't go over it, so just like this. And now you have all this flat terrain, but it looks bad. You see it has these rough edges, you don't want to leave it like this. So go to the smooth tool and make it a bigger radius maybe, and just right click. Yes, this will take some of your flat space, but usually you have to make it bigger anyways to fit the building, so it's alright. Maybe you want to make it more natural, something like this. You can also do it here, but I just leave it like this. Then paint it with grass, so this is how you paint. With the active block, change it to grass block. Now it's gonna put grass over here, maybe even here, like this. Like this. So now it doesn't really look that rough, that sharp. It's a lot smoother. Now you have a rectangular selection, and what you need to do now is actually stop the recording, because we're gonna do the building in another recording. I'll show it to you later, but for now press escape, stop recording, and then you can save and quit to title. And right here on the right you'll see it saving. Just wait a bit, it's gonna take some minutes, and then you'll have it saved. Okay, so now that you have your time lapse saved, go right here to the replay viewer, click on it, it's gonna be the last, and you're gonna want to press T on your keyboard, pause it, and now we can see how the terrain looked at the start before we did the terraforming. And if we were to click on here, it will show us the terrain right when we exited the game. So let's say that I want the video to start from this angle. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go right here on 0, add position keyframe, add a time keyframe, and then let's move a bit. And by the way, make sure that if you're making YouTube shorts or something for TikTok, you're not gonna have this whole screen available on the time lapse. You're only gonna have like the very center of the game, only a third of what you normally have on widescreen. So make sure that whatever you are building or terraforming fits the actual part that is gonna be seen on the short. So for that, it's way easier if you go for a high FOV. I just leave it like 80 or something like this. And now if you want to see the end of your time lapse, click right here. Gonna look like that. So we started right here with this point, and we're gonna end right here. You can see the player, but you don't want to do that now. Press B and then click on this one, and it's gonna be invisible. You don't need the player for something this big because it's not gonna be visible anyways. It's just gonna look like some mosquito flying over there. But yeah, now you can press T again. You're gonna open up this mouse and you can click on add position, add time keyframe, something like this. Let's see how it looks. Or actually, make sure that this one is placed something like it depends. If you want to make it a longer time lapse, maybe you can go for a minute. I don't do that. I usually go for like 15 seconds because everything that is here on 7 minutes and 35 seconds is going to be turned into 15 seconds. Or if I delete this, I can turn this 7 minutes into 1 minute, but I don't want to do that, so let's leave it at 15 seconds like this. Maybe even move it somewhere where it's more visible, like this maybe. 15. Let's see it now. It doesn't look that good because it's only a rendering of the time lapse, it's not the actual video. It's gonna look much better on the video and you'll see it soon. But for now, press T again. Now you're gonna go into options or just render the camera paths. But for now, if you have the shaders, you can use shaders like this, and then you can render. So don't change this, you don't really have to. It's gonna give the output, and yeah, you don't really need to care about this, but just render it. Okay, so now that you render it, you're gonna see it appear on your Minecraft folder. So whatever or wherever you have downloaded your replay mod and installed it, you're also gonna have your replay videos and replay recordings. Usually it's on .minecraft folder on update tab, but here because I have another launcher, it's on the launcher. So it depends on what you have, but it will be in the Minecraft folder where you also have the resource pack, saves and all that stuff. So click on it and you see it right here. It's the last one. And let me see if I can do this. Well, it looks a lot better now, right? It's not lagging, it's not doing any problems, and you can see that it's a lot faster than what we did it in 7 minutes, only a 50-second video. Okay, so let's say you don't want to make a square selection or rectangular selection, maybe you want to make a circular selection, and for that, just like before, press shift. Instead of box select, go for freehand select, cylinder, make a radius depending on your build. If you have a bigger one, you can press Ctrl and change that to whatever you like, maybe 70. It's pretty big. Let's leave it at 50. The height, you should leave that to 0. If you make it bigger, you don't need to make it bigger, not now, not for this thing. What you need to do now is find either a tall place, let me see, or make one yourself. If you're in a plain biome, maybe you can plant a tree, make a tall place, but you need to make it tall so that it takes up all the above space and fills it with air. So right here we have the 2 tallest trees in the area. Right click on them, and at this point you will start recording. I won't do that now because I don't need to, but you will start recording. Go to modify, translate copies right here, 1 count, and the Y factor put it to -1, everything else leave at 0. You will see the blue selection. Don't worry, it will still be a circle. And now just fill with air and right click until you get, let's say, maybe 10 blocks deep, just so all of the dirt is clear. You are left with mostly stone, something like this, maybe even more. Let's see, like this. Okay, now you have this hole in the ground. You don't want to leave it like that, but you will leave the selection like that and instead fill it with grass blocks. Now we have a layer of grass. Go here, instead of -1, press 1 and then just right click again and you will see it will go up, and you can pick whatever height you want. Ctrl Z, it removes it, but make sure that you don't do that on video because it will look bad. But yeah, here you can do that. You can pick whatever you like and it will terraform it to that height, something like this. Now you have a flat circle. Okay, so now that we are done with the terraforming, you will need to take your building and move it on the flat terrain. So for that, we have the building right here, the Genex Tower from Belgrade. And if your building is off the ground, that's good because you can just magic select it and it's gonna select the building. But if it's stuck to the ground, then you're gonna have to select it manually. And you can also, I think, try this, but make sure if you do this you don't have anything that's sticking downwards in your building because it's not gonna work. So I'm not gonna do this, it's pretty risky. And instead, if you are in the same situation, you will take a perimeter around the building like this. Make sure the whole building is encased. Ctrl C and you'll see it right here. Let me move a little bit further in this location, and right here with magic select, make sure that it only goes down. Remove the soil. You can also just select it and replace the grass with air or something like this, but this one is enough for now. Put it back, select all of it, copy, and now you can go to your world where you have the terraform terrain and just paste it like this. Let's see, something, it should be on the ground. And by the way, some people, like when you search on YouTube for tutorials how to animate your build, how to make time lapses with Axiom, you're gonna get something like this. So you have your building, you select it, operations, animated rebuild, right? But you'll see that it doesn't really work. Ctrl Z, bring back the building. Yeah, it's really experimental and it doesn't really work with something too big like this, even though by my standards this is pretty small, but it doesn't really work. And it can also stop midway, so it's not really worth it. You can do it much better in other ways. So now let's put it on the ground like this. Select it. You don't need to make it tall like before, just the base, because you're gonna cut with one block wide screen of selection. Let's see, something like this. Click on modify. We are above, but make sure that you have the whole building covered so that you're not leaving anything outside of your selection. Now we can start recording. Right click and with -1 on the Y factor, as you can see, it's gonna go down. Don't move X or Z, just Y. Right click and as you can see, the whole building is getting demolished. You can have fun with this tool. Maybe you can only take out one building, one of the towers at a time, then take the other one out. It really depends on how you want to make your videos, how big is your build. You can also do it in a circular way. I will teach you that soon. You can also play with the tool mask, so it only cuts one specific type of material, and you know, stuff like this. But this one is very basic, just for the tutorial, and it's done right now. So you can now stop the recording, quit, and just wait for it to be saved. Okay, we can now click on it, press T again, pause, and now we can make the end of the video, where the video will end. Let's see, I think this spot is good enough. We're gonna add position and keyframes. It should be close to the beginning so that you don't have the building already demolished. And then we can move, let's say, put this to 84, move a bit closer, something like this, maybe like this. 3 seconds is enough. Go to the end of it, down here, let's say, and put it on 15 seconds, and let's see how it looks. Yeah, this one is really easy because it's so small, but for bigger ones, you see you have to do it with more position, keyframes, and a lot more patience. So yeah, as you can see, it's pretty easy, it's pretty nice. Now you can put your shader. You can also remove the pair just like before, render it, and you'll see the video. But let's say that now you have your terraform circle, and you also have a circular building. So let's paste it right here. This will be the Moscow roundhouses. Let's see, put it, doesn't have to be in the middle really, just maybe like this. Okay, so you have a circular building on the circular terrain, and you want to make a time lapse of it. How will you do that? Well, you can also cut it normally like the other building, but if you do that, you're also probably gonna cut a bit of the terrain from here, from there, and it's also not really gonna look that good. But maybe you want to make it look really good, really nice. You want to make it look like it's going in the circular direction, like it's being completed in a circle. You want to make it look like that, and there are 2 ways to do that, and I'm gonna teach you both of them. But first of all, let's see what we have to do for the first one. So open the menu again, and you will have to find the center of your building. Usually when you are building something like this in a circle, you have to make the center, so something like this, like here. Let's say this is the center. You can mark it maybe with something, let's see, maybe with some stone. And then what you have to do is find the height of your terrain. So this is 71 right here. This one is 72, which means that everything that is above 71 is the building, and everything below is not the building. So we have to go to the lasso tool now and make a max depth of 64, maybe even more if your building is bigger. Go a little further away, something like this. It also helps to make the FOV smaller so that you have access to all of the flat terrain around the building, so you don't cut the mountains. And you have to go to the tool mask. So this one, it might look a little scary, but it's not really. It's pretty easy to handle it, and you can see you have everything that you need right here. So we want to cut everything that is above 71, because 71, as I said, is the terrain, everything else is the building. So make it above 71, and we have to test it now. So take the lasso, let's say something like this. Okay, so it doesn't actually cut the whole of it, it only cuts, it needs to cut one more from what I can see. So instead of 71, make it 70. You will test it like this without recording. You will only record when you know that everything is good. Also, it also needs to cut the non-solid blocks, the buttons, because they were not cut. So you will check this one. Okay, now it should work. Let's see another test, and there's nothing here. It worked. Everything is cut. This is the terrain below, this is the building. It looks like a pizza. You will take slices of the pizza. You can now start recording. This one will take a while. You need to have patience for this one. It's not as easy as the other one, but if you do it nicely and you have patience, it's gonna look really nice. Don't hurry, don't do something like this. You don't want to do that. Instead, go by little, something like this. So right click, enter, backspace, and it's gone. And just go like this. You can also go left, but if you go left, then keep left. If you go right, keep right. Make sure that you are always in the middle, right here. Try to make the cuttings equal so they look better. If you make them really small, then it's gonna look smoother on video. If you're gonna make them really big, it's not gonna look that good. You can also do it like this. And yeah, this will take a while, but I think it's worth it. It looks real nice. Okay, this one was really rough, but you get the idea. Now you can just stop the recording, but just so you see, let's check if there is actually anything there that's not been cut. Like for example this one, or this stuff right here. Some stuff will be left out, and if you want to actually cut all of it really good, you need to pay attention to absolutely every slice that you do, and this is why cutting it like this takes a while. But also, if you actually record it from above, really those little things are not gonna be that visible. So it really depends on how smooth you want to make, how much time you want to spend on it, and if you really care about all this stuff. Okay, but now save it and I'll show it to you how it looks on the replay mode time-lapse. Okay, so we are now on the time-lapse, and we want to take, let's say, a position somewhere here where the whole slicing will be visible. So let's say something like this. and we're gonna go to the end of it like this. Let's say I want to make it 20 seconds long and play it. Yeah, so this is how it looks, but if you want to make it look good, you can also do it from some nicer angles. Let's say maybe it starts here but it ends up somewhere here. Let's see at the end, something like this. Also make the player invisible just like before. 20 seconds. Yeah, you can really play with this one as much as you like, make it look good. And as you can see now it's moving. You can see more of the building. And just like before, give it some shaders and just render it as it is, or do it again, try to make it better. It all depends on you. Let's say that you don't want to do it with a lasso, you don't want to spend that much time in making a pizza slice. So what's the other option? Well, for this round building, if you actually make it symmetrical and you keep the things like similar on each of the four sides, then you can also use symmetry for it. So this one you have to navigate with your mouse. Do this menu, set up symmetry and put it in the center of your building. Press Ctrl R, and now everything that you do is gonna be done times 4. So like I put one block here, it's gonna put another 3 blocks there, and so on. Now I actually did this on my video of this monument, and you can see it right there how it's done, but I'm also gonna show it to you here. So this one also takes a lot of time. So yeah, if you don't have patience, just do the first way of doing it like I showed you. But I think this one looks really nice, so I think it's worth it. So what you have to do, if you have symmetry enabled, you have to start recording, and you actually don't need the axiom menu now because you're gonna do everything by hand. So with your player you will start cutting, and you're gonna cut a lot, like the whole ceiling. But actually this time I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna also cut this part, not like on the video, because I want to make it a little faster. So I'm gonna do this and you'll see how it looks in the video. So it's like there are 3 more players behind me doing the same work as I do. And hopefully this is not too loud. By the way, if you're asking how am I cutting so fast, enable this one, bulldozer. Yeah, okay. Now we can also remove this one. This one will stay here. And yeah, you can do this for the whole building if it's a circular building like this one, but make sure that everything on the 4 sides is equal. So like here, it's not equal because this one doesn't exist here, and you know all that stuff. But for the roof it's enough for now. So what you have to do now, just like before, stop recording and you'll see how it looks on the time lapse. Okay, so now you can use the player, but we can also hide it. It really depends if you want. You're gonna have like 1 player digging one part and then 3 invisible players digging the rest. It depends on how you like it to be, but I'll just remove it. Let's see. So we're gonna start something like this and go to the end of it here. I just want to show you how it looks when it's done at max speed. Actually, wait, I didn't put the markers. Wait, what? Okay, that's whatever. Let's say maybe it's 4 minutes, then we're gonna go for 12 seconds. Let's see now. Yeah, so as you can see, even if it's rough and dirty, it actually looks pretty nice because it's all 4 sides doing it, so not just one side. This one was fast, but usually it takes a lot of time, and if you're gonna do it for the whole building, it really takes a bit. And you also have to reverse it and make it look like it's actually being built. So yeah, but if you have that in mind, if you know how to do it, you can do it. So that's the third tool. So we have the rectangular selection, we have the lasso tool, and this one is symmetry, and this will be all. Maybe you can find out about more tools, maybe you can see how you can combine them, how you can play with them more, maybe you can discover new things. It all depends on you, on how much time you want to spend on your time lapses and how nice you want them to be. Now that you are done with the terraforming and with the building, what you have to do is open up your video editor. So right here I'm using Vegas Pro 21. You are probably using something different, I don't know what, but it should be the same if you have like 3 important settings that you can change, and I'll show it to you right now. So first of all, take your videos that you have made and place them on your track right here. So this is the building, and right here is the terrain. Okay, so what you have to do now is reverse the building one, because of course it has to look like it's being built, not demolished. And for both of them you will have to, for Sony Vegas, click on this icon. I don't know if it's visible like this, maybe, and it should be the same in your program or whatever you are using. If you can change the aspect ratio, it should be good. So change this to 609 because that's the short resolution. If you are not using, if you're not making shorts, you don't need to do that. But if you are making shorts, put it on 609. As you can see, now it looks like a phone screen, and that's how it should look. You can see that the whole screen is occupied by the video, unlike here where you see black bars. So do the same for this one, like this. And now let's see how the building looks like. So you can see that here there's more space, here there's not really that much space. So what you should do is go here again, and instead of 960, change the center to something like 1000. You will see the center going to the right, and now more of the building will be on the right, and more of the right will be visible. Let's see it now. Yeah, see, now it's almost equal. Maybe you want to make it faster. This is how you do it in Sony Vegas with control. I don't know how it's in your program, but it should be the same or very similar, because they are very similar and they should have the same settings. But yeah, as you can see, this is how the soil gets taken out, and then it's placed back in with the grass, then it's smoothed, and then we have the building being built, and the whole thing is like 18 seconds long. So It's a very short, it's a very small building, not much terrain being dug. Just for a tutorial, this is good. Now, you don't want to leave it like this. Of course, you will save it probably, but you will also render it so you can upload it to YouTube, TikTok, or whatever you have. Okay, like this. Just use MP4 or whatever you have. Let's say we're gonna go for 1080 in portrait resolution because this is the phone. We're gonna customize it so it's on 60 FPS and just render it like this. Okay, now you can open the folder and you can play your video. This is how it looks. This is how it's gonna look on YouTube, on TikTok. Yeah, that's pretty much it. If you don't like how it looks, maybe you want to take it from afar, maybe you want to change the FOV, maybe you want to do this part faster. That's very easy, you can change all of that yourself. It's really up to you how you do it. Really the only important part is that you have to use the modify tool, you have to use the selection and replay mode, and you need to know how to combine all of these things to get a nice time lapse to make it look good. But really everything else, it's up to you how you want to build it and how you want to record it and all of that stuff. Thanks for watching and have fun making videos.